Fandoms Anonymous.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fandom Talk on this nice Wednesday in planet Earth. We're back again, guys. We're about to get into some stuff. We got a lot of stuff to get into, and we're going to definitely get into it today. On the line, I got my man, as he's here every week, my man Jeremy Branch from Be Terrible Productions out of Pensacola, Florida. What's going on, Jeremy?
Hey, Malcolm. Glad to be back. What's up, Fandom Talk friends? Happy to be here joining you again this Wednesday. Like you said, we do got a bunch to talk about. And let me plug real quick. I'm going to be talking to one of the Reavers from Logan a little bit later this afternoon. So check out Be Terrible Movies for that interview that I'm going to be doing.
Most definitely. If you guys aren't already following Be Terrible Productions, he's everywhere, all over the internet. He's on Twitter. He's on Facebook. He's on YouTube. So follow Be Terrible Productions, Jeremy Branch. He's the man with the plan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to keep moving on. I got my man Stephen McIntyre. If you don't know who Stephen McIntyre is, you need to go check out the 101 series, Cooking 101, with Stephen McIntyre on the Fandoms Anonymous YouTube channel. What's going on, Stephen?
What's up, everybody? So glad to be back. Glad to be talking about something besides Power Rangers and cooking. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. So,
I'm ready.
First thing this morning, Wednesdays are my off days, if you guys already don't know that out there in Fandoms Anonymous land. And I woke up, rolled out of the bed, birds are chirping, sun is shining through the window, and then Michael Bay puts a trailer out on the internet talking about Transformers, the last night official trailer. I'm like, oh, great. Oh, boy, I want to see what's going on. Hopefully it can be better than that girly Nike commercial that they put out around Super Bowl time. So I pull it up. I watch it. The first 30, 45 seconds, like, oh, man, this is great. This is what I'm talking about, Transformers. And then I saw Transformers standing around King Arthur's round table. So I'm going to push this over to my man Stephen McIntyre. Stephen, what did you think about this trailer? I'm going to go last because I don't want to be the bringer of bad news.
Man, I was watching it, and I think I feel like how a lot of people feel. I was watching it, and I was like, oh, man, another Transformers film, maybe this one's going to be, it's going to pop. It's going to be like that very first one that came out years ago, whatever, and I was watching it, and it was going cool. We had the story. We see where the story's going to go, and all of a sudden, you get reminded who's directing the films, and you're just like, oh, great. Here we go again. More explosions, more extra stuff. I think I'll go see it just to see the story, to see what they do with it, but it's really going to be one of those same Michael Bay films, same explosions, same slow down scenes. I'm just gonna go see for the story. I'm really not understanding the whole King Arthur vibe that they're going to give, but we'll see what they're talking about. Maybe they'll have a little bit something more as we get a little closer to the date, but right now we'll see.
Jim, what's your take on this trailer this morning, man?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys have said already. I have not seen many of the Transformer movies. I saw the first one. I saw part of the second one, and Michael Bay is one of those dudes. He's one of those guys that he's got a bad rap. He's one of the most disrespected directors working in film. And despite that, the dude, he's cashing his checks regardless. Like, the Transformers series is critic-proof. So no matter how many people in our circles, in our community, are like, oh, Michael Bay sucks. He sucks. It doesn't matter because foreign box office, he crushes it. Even here, in the States, they've gone down a little bit from movie to movie as far as box office goes, but it's a $1 billion-something franchise. So honestly, I've got to give Michael Bay props. This Transformers, The Last Night, is the first film ever shot fully in IMAX 3D. So to me, it's like he might not be the greatest at working with actors. He might not be the greatest at writing scripts. He might have some racist and some sexist shit in all of his movies. But despite all that, he's kind of like James Cameron to me in that he's like really pushing the science of movie making forward. He's really working with the technology and all these things that I respect him for that. So like, despite the fact that he's one of the most bashed on directors, he is an auteur. He's an auteur in the fact that when you see a Michael Bay movie, there's no question that you're watching a Michael Bay movie or some dude that grew up loving Michael Bay and now he makes movies like him. So, credit where credit's due. He's one of the few directors working today that gets to make the movies exactly how he wants to. He's not answering to anybody, and that's a hard position to get to. The fact that his name is so well known, I mean, he's no Uwe Bowles or something. The dude's all right, the dude's all right. So as far as the trailer goes, I was actually kind of feeling it. I definitely didn't have much expectations from it other than that it was going to suck. And when I watched it, it does suck. I mean, there's a couple cool little images in there. I do agree with you, Malcolm. It's just crazy that it's taking place in medieval times, and then in current day also, Optimus Prime apparently is going full-on Vin Diesel from Fate of the Furious and seems to be like brainwashed, working on the other side. So I don't know. I doubt I'm going to see it. But as far as just the trailer goes, it was all right. My question is, how many times can the Transformers blow up the world? Like, there's only one world, and they've blown it up like 4 times already, so that either people are rebuilding really freaking fast or this is some other timeline. I don't know.
Well, with me, and guys, my trailer reaction is coming up to the YouTube channel a little bit later on. But for me, the first 30, 45 seconds, like I was saying, it started out showing that there's some type of Transformers lore still embedded in this movie. There was a Transformer, female-like Transformer, who said, you're the reason the Cybertron was fully destroyed. And what I can go to is these might not necessarily be Decepticons. This might be an ancient race of Transformers. If you remember in the last movie, he said, I'm going to find the creators. So this is who these people could be because they got Optimus chained up. So when she says, you're the reason why Cybertron was destroyed, the first thing that makes that synonymous with me in my mind is when, what I'm trying to say, is in, I think it was either Dark of the Moon or Revenge of the Fallen, when Megatron was trying to bring Cybertron back. Uh-huh. He was trying to bring Cybertron back down to Earth, and Optimus stopped that because the plan was to rebuild Cybertron. So maybe this group of people were looking at Megatron like, yes, he's bringing Cybertron back. We may not like Megatron like that, but Cybertron is the goal. So when she says, you're going to be tasked with the mission to bring Cybertron back. So that's when we see Optimus who's going on this rampage to complete the mission of these creators. That's what we'll call them now. We'll call them creators. So that intrigued me a lot. But of everything else, it's just like that Michael Bay feel. I mean, this man just said out of his mouth the other day that there are 14 more ideas for Transformers movies on the table. 14 more ideas.
Jeez.
Yeah, right.
But the thing about it is he's passionate about it. This isn't a guy that's just making a movie, like you said. Yeah, he's getting a check, like Jeremy said, but he's passionate about these movies. Every time he steps away, he comes right back.
Yep.
He reminds me of my high school band director. This man was supposed to retire like back in the early 2000s when I first got in the band, and now he just retired. I found out the other day from a man, Steve. So he's like, you know what? Gonna give it another year. Band 10, and Michael Bay was like, yep, let's film another movie. I got it in me. I still got it in me. Michael Bay is like the Michael Jordan of movies. How many times did Michael Jordan say he was gonna retire? And then he went and played baseball, and then he came back and played basketball again. So I don't know what they're going to do with this franchise. I don't know where it's going to keep going. Of course, we keep getting rumors of spinoff movies and other things like that. So we'll just see. But like Jeremy said, once that movie hits overseas, it's a cash grab, and that gives the green light to make some more. So we're going to move on to a better subject where we're not so much bashing. We're going to hit this Thor Ragnarok trailer. Oh, my God. This trailer was one of the best cut trailers that I have watched in a long time.
Man,
because it did not give away anything. It was like beginning trailer. It was like peace here, peace, end. See you November. So, Jeremy, what's your take on the Thor Ragnarok trailer?
Wow. Yeah, dude, it was so dope. That first scene, it looks like he's in hell. I'm assuming it's Hela's domain. You know, he's all chained up. I think he's got long hair in that shot. And then it cuts to, what is it? It goes back to, I'm not going to be able to recite the whole thing, but I really dig the imagery in it. It doesn't give too much away. We knew that Thor was going to fight the Hulk. That was no surprise to anybody who's been keeping up. We knew that Thor must have been doing it in the arena because we saw the armor. We saw the pictures on Entertainment Weekly and all these things. So it didn't really spoil a lot, but it was a teaser. So we got to hold back a little bit until we see the full trailer, because even though the teaser didn't spoil anything, they're not supposed to. They're just that quick little sizzle reel, just a couple of really hot shots from the movie that are like, this is going to, whet your appetite. This is going to get you more excited to see this movie. And it worked. I mean, like, this is by far the best-looking Thor movie so far. I liked the first one. I thought it was all right. And then the second one, it wasn't a bad movie. It was just a bad movie by Marvel standards, right? So I just think that this new one, because it's directed by Taika Waititi, I don't know if y'all are familiar with his career, but he directed a movie called What We Do in the Shadows, and it was like a mockumentary about vampires that came out 2 years ago. Highly recommend it. And then he did Hunt for the Wilder People last year, which is it's just a phenomenal movie. So as a director, this guy's got the goods. And then he's got the sense of humor. It looks like the action set pieces are incredible. And I've heard it said already, but it definitely has a color palette that ties it into Guardians of the Galaxy really nicely. The costume design's similar. The ships are similar. And I think that's as it should be, because it's all the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, it's the same space that the Guardians are in. So that all checks out to me. And can I just say that, like, I've never thought Cate Blanchett was hot. And Ella, I'm like, she looks good. So, yeah, that's where my head's at. I'm super excited about seeing this.
Yeah, man. Cate Blanchett became Bae in this trailer. I'm just going to call it. Kate, yep. Steven, what you got on this Thor trailer?
Man, kind of bouncing off what you guys said, I hate when a trailer gives away their whole story within within that time of the trailer.
Yeah.
This trailer is perfect. It tells you, hey, this is going to happen. I ain't going to say how he got here, why he's here, or whatever, but here's what the movie is about. Here you go, without giving all the extra stuff. As I see these movies, I see them as the casual viewer. So somebody that doesn't necessarily know the comic book story, that doesn't know quite the lore unless it's presented in the movies, So I will say, coming from that side, it looks like a great movie. I think it's going to be a great movie. I think it's going to be a really good one for the Marvel Universe. I do like the little nod that they put in with him putting on his helmet. I'm sure somebody's going to be like, oh, man. They put in that little treat.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about Tessa Thompson. I believe that's her name. Tessa. Might be Tessa
Thompson. Yep.
Tessa Thompson. Yeah. Man, look, that was big for me when she came out with a few movies a year ago, and I saw something on her Instagram and it didn't click. I was like, oh, that's her. And I saw her in the trailer, and I love her aura. She seems she just has a nice, really great aura that she'll have in this movie. I think she'll play that out very well throughout this film. I do love the little humor that he puts in about when he sees Hulk and he says, "Oh yeah, we've worked together," and then they just kind of bring it in. It was like we bring in the focus, like, oh, something's going on with Hulk, or Hulk is mad, or Hulk is mad,
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I really enjoyed this trailer. I haven't seen a lot of Thor movies in theaters per se, but this one might be one that I actually go see. I do also like the point that you brought up about how it kind of has that color palette of Guardians of the Galaxy, because I really enjoyed that movie, and I really think they're going to sort of veer towards that. They're trying to get that little broader audience.
Absolutely.
A little broader audience. They definitely want, and the interesting thing, I think also throughout the years of the Marvel universe, of course, their audience is progressive, of course. So I think with Guardian of the Galaxy, I thought it was a little more towards the family, not necessarily a family film, but something more that you can bring younger kids into. So the younger kids are loving Thor, so they're changing that color palette so they can say, oh, this looks a little bit like Guardian of the Galaxy too. So this is also, all kind of bring it all together, a little lighter on the eyes, a little lighter on the eyes, a little, I guess better for everybody. As far as the story, I would love to see what they do with this story. I think, once again, the same concept with the whole family film. They're going to have a nice story. It might not be a super deep story, but you're going to get your meal. You're going to get your meat and your potatoes with this story. I think it's going to be a great film that we have. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited about this one. It's not often that I'm super, super excited about a Marvel film, honestly. I'm not saying they're all bad films, but this one I'm super excited for. I'm definitely going to go check this one out in theaters when it comes out.
Yeah, I think you bring up a really interesting point about it being more of a family movie. That's not something that had crossed my mind, but now that you say it, I definitely see how it would be appealing. And then the other thing that I kind of think about is it's just another way to differentiate themselves from other studios that are making comic book movies as well,
Absolutely.
It's that visual cue. It's like it's not dark and subdued. It's bright and flashy and colorful. It's got a super cool late 70s, early 80s font on the poster, and I'm just like, man, this is so cool. And even that's like a Guardians vibe. But yeah, I just can't wait. The thing that I was talking about earlier, let me bring it back to the trailer at the very beginning. It shows Thor down in hell, and then the next shot, they're in the streets of New York City, and Thor just like throws his hammer straight at Hela, and she palms that thing. She just grabs it and then crushes it, and it explodes for like 100 yards. And that's when I was just like, wow, this is gonna be a different take on the movie.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like you guys both said, it's going to slide back into Guardians. I would not be surprised if we see the Guardians in the end credit scene, or if we see a Guardian Easter egg throughout the movie.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because like you got, like everybody is saying, like you all just said, this is the same universe, and not necessarily the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the same universe as in space that they're traveling in. So when we're seeing these colors, it's something that we've already been exposed to from Guardians. So that's how we get that true tie-in. Like I said, I would not be shocked if we get some type of Guardian Easter egg throughout the actual film. For me, the trailer was amazing, especially when they get to the arena. He's like, yes, and the people are like, wait a minute, Hulk is our greatest contender. He beats people down every single week, and you're excited. The whole crowd just stopped. He was like, oh, it's okay. He's my friend for work. We hang out together, And it's like, this is that fight that they've been wanting to have together for a long time. So I'm wondering, in this movie, will we get a more sentient Hulk, like a Gorilla Grodd, that can actually walk and talk as the Hulk, and not the grunting and the growling? Will we actually get to hear Hulk speak? Will we actually get to see Banner control Hulk? Because we do get it's a photo still where you see Banner and Thor, and they're in that same colored world. And I thought it was just a set photo, but I think it's actually going to be a photo as far as the movie, a piece as far as the movie is concerned, with them two. So I am excited for Thor Ragnarok. That trailer really did get me hyped the other day. I loved every single last bit of it. But we got another topic, something big. The 80th anniversary of Batman, the Caped Crusader, is in the year 2019. And there was a rumor that 4 Batman-centric movies were going to come out. Now, the leaders over there at DC, they came out and dispelled the rumor, but there is still a possibility that this could happen. So we've already got sayings of a Nightwing movie. We already got sayings of a Batgirl movie with Joss Whedon as the director. We already know that there's the Batman that's coming out, and we also know the Gotham City Sirens movie is coming out. Now, there's a possibility that all 4 of those movies could come out during that year. So to think about 4 Batman-centered movies, and a lot of people, when they first saw that title, they were like, 4 Batman movies. Oh, my gosh. What are they doing over there? They say. It threw me off for a second until I actually got read into it. So, Jeremy, me and you, we're not necessarily hard on DC, but we follow the same wavelength when it comes to DC. So what do you think about this possibility of 4 Batman-centric, not Batman movies, but Batman-centric movies coming out in 2019 for the 80th anniversary of Batman?
As we're sitting there and I'm listening to you talk about it, I'm just thinking how ludicrous it is. I'm looking at my calendar on my computer, my desktop. It's halfway through the month of April right now. So essentially they've got a year and 7.5 months to find a new Batman, cast them, get them on the workout routine, crank out the scripts, get the special effects done. I mean, I'm sure that they have a bunch of pre-production stuff done. I'm sure they have a bunch of concept art done for all of these properties. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. If they do a filmmaker like that, one that hadn't even been hired on yet, then that's just wrong. That's just wrong. I mean, we know David Ayer is going to direct Suicide Squad 2. He was the guy that got 6 weeks to write the script for the first Suicide Squad movie. That is insane. That is insane. So, I mean, it looks like the way they're doing it over at Warner Brothers, they could literally call these people up 2 weeks before the date of the shoot and just be like, here's $1 billion, come in here and let's try to make this movie. But I don't see it happening. If it were, I still don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me at all, unless Wonder Woman kicks ass, and then you better believe I'm going to be excited about the Justice League and everything that comes out after that, so long as it's good. If Wonder Woman sucks, then that's 5 bad movies in a row. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it.
Steven, what's your thought on this possibility of 4 Batman-centered movies coming out in 19?
Man, it sounds busy, first off. It sounds busy. It just sounds, oh, my goodness. Man, if this is their plan, if this is the route they want to go, of course they're going to make 2019 the year of the Bat. Whatever, that's cool, but I don't think they need 4 Batman movies. I really don't think it's necessary. I really feel like they're just going to be burning money. The Batman movie, a Nightwing movie, and a Batgirl movie, yeah. I don't think it's necessary. Nightwing. First, you have to explain to everybody who is Nightwing, and you're just like, oh, well, it's so-and-so. It's like, well, why isn't it just that movie? It's like, no, it's not that movie. It's Nightwing movie. It's like, no, I don't want to see that. But, you know, like I said before, looking at it from the general audience point of view, a Nightwing movie and a Batgirl movie, I don't think they're needed. I think they're full fan service, comic book lovers, series lovers kind of movies. Because your average person off the street is not going to know who Nightwing is.
That's a good point.
You know, they're not going to just know Nightwing. They'll know Robin if they want to do something like that, but they're not going to just know Nightwing off the street. Batgirl, I believe is her series still going on, or I think she has a series or something where she was out and about recently. I might just be thinking about Injustice. But, you know, okay, she'll have a nice movie. The Gotham City movie, I really don't know much about that, so I won't touch on that. But I don't know. DC and their movies, they're really – it's obvious what they're trying to go for. It's obvious they're trying to cash into that same money that Marvel has been pulling. But my thing about with Marvel was I believe Marvel kind of did that by accident. They did their first movies, and they were like, oh, wow, people really like these. Yeah. So they threw out that Avengers movie, and they were like, oh, my God, this is – they saw dollar signs all over the place, and they had that winning combination. You know, they had something they did, the way that they sent the movies out, the way they developed their characters. When that Avengers movie came out, oh, my goodness, there was so much hype about it. Everybody was excited. Everybody, comic book fans, casual fans, little kids, old people, everybody wanted to see Avengers. Avengers was that movie that everybody wanted to see. So DC, of course, is trying to build up these movies, and, you know, I think I might agree with you guys. If somebody were to ask me DC versus Marvel, I'm a Marvel person. However, I did like the Justice League series when it came out. Batman, okay, he has some nice stories. He's fine. As far as these 4 movies, though, I feel like they're reaching for a certain audience, and that certain audience might not give them the reception that they want. DC's already kind of on shaky ground with me. There hasn't been a movie where I'm just like, oh my God, thank you DC Universe for making this, and I feel like that's how I'm gonna be feeling with these 4 movies. They're just gonna come out, and they're just gonna end up being movies that you watch when you take a bus or something. You know, they'll just be on in the background. It's like, oh, those DC movies that came out. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I think you brought up some great points, Stephen. I think that the fact that the anticipation was built around a movie that was 8 years in the making or whatever the actual numbers were then, it was all like them just going with it. They just went with the way that the tides carried them, and they built a really successful business model. And now every other studio, and it's not just Warner Brothers, every other studio is like, we're going to start an expanded universe. We're going to start an extended universe. And it's crazy now, but I don't know if it's going to be possible to recatch that lightning in a bottle. So I just wanted to touch on that. And I should also, it's Batman's 80th birthday in 2019 or something, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, his 80th birthday.
So that's why they might be pushing for that many movies. But it did look like Malcolm, you said in the beginning, is that the gentleman on Twitter had already pretty much dispelled the possibility of it even happening.
Most definitely. You know, they came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're not gonna have that many movies." Like, you know, they came up, Jeff Johns, is this possible? But then again, knowing them, they're like that kid at the candy store, like, hey, I'm going to eat Jawbreakers and licorice. Yes. You know, and that's how DC is. You know, they might do it. That's the sick part about it. This actually might happen. If you sit down and think about it, and think about how hungry they're trying to be, this is something that actually might happen. And we're going to be looking back at this episode of Fandom Talk like, well,
didn't see that coming.
Yep. I'm about to say that's why they're sitting in the desk in the suits, man, and we're at.
Yeah, that's true.
We got some other stuff coming up on today's show. Jeremy, you got a new segment for us for the weekend box office. What's going on with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's exciting to be able to check out the numbers every week because even though movies are something that are, every viewer sees movies differently. You look for different qualities when you go to the movies. Everybody's got their own view of what makes a good movie. But the one thing that doesn't lie is the box office numbers. It's a way to quantify what the people are wanting. You know what I mean? So I think we should look at the box office numbers from week to week and just kind of see who's coming out on top, just to kind of discuss maybe what the people are drawn to about these movies, essentially. So let's talk about April 7th through the 9th. We're going to just go through the top 5. I mean, if you go to Box Office Mojo, you can go all the way to, like, the 98th. Holy cow, that's a lot. You can look at a lot of the box office numbers, but we're just going to go through the top 5, and that's pretty normal, I think. So, Ghost in the Shell. Did you guys see it?
Mm-mm.
No? Malcolm, did you see it?
You know I ain't see that movie.
No. Me neither, and that's why they made $7,306,000 or $306,000 and $306,413. So yeah, not very big box office numbers. That was a huge disappointment. Real quick before we move on to number 4, just in one sentence, Malcolm, why is that so? Why did Ghost in the Shell make that little money?
Well, there's a little thing called casting that wasn't done correctly for this movie that ticked a lot of people off.
Sure. All right, Steven, why did this movie not perform as good as we thought it might?
In one sentence?
Yep.
Casting is very important.
There we go. Well said, guys. And I would have said the thing that you said earlier I think is also valid, that people on the street, you just ask an average person what Ghost in the Shell is, and they don't know. They think it's some movie that looks like The Matrix. So, exactly. Number 4, Going in Style. You guys know what that is?
I saw that movie. Okay, so
did
and I did it. I did a review on it on my channel. So it's on my channel. Right. I did a review. Thanks to AMC Stubs and their Premier membership, every once in a while they'll send out some tickets when they're doing screenings in my local area, in my local AMC. So I got a chance to go see Going in Style maybe about 3.5 weeks ago before it even came out. It's basically a movie. You got Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, and Alan Arkin. And it's basically a remake of the original Going in Style movie. I think came out a long time ago in the old folks' time. I think before the 50s, somewhere along in there. But basically these 3 guys, they're older, they're retired, and this bank is legally using their pension money to expand or do some stuff with, and they're like, well, you know what? That's my pension money. We worked hard for it. Let's rob the bank. So it is a really good heist movie. When I say it's really good, it's really good. Jeremy, I think you'll like it. I watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's directed by my main man, Zach Braff. I love Zach Braff. So,
oh, really?
Yes, it's directed by Zach Braff. I love Going in Style.
So, yeah, Zach Braff directed Garden State, which was good. And then when you said Morgan Freeman, Alan Arkin, and who was the other one? Michael Caine. Yeah, you sold me there. And then when you said it's a heist movie with the old dudes in it, I'm like, yeah, I'm on board with this. Steven, does that sound like something you'd want to check out?
Oh, definitely. I would definitely want to check it out. Sounds like a pretty great film. I'll have to go see what's going on with it. Take a little time.
So that's a Warner Brothers. That's a Warner Brothers produced movie. Just wanted to throw that out there. $11,932,330. So it made about $4 million more than Ghost in the Shell. All right, then number 3, Smurfs. The Lost Village came in with $13,210,449. Obviously, I don't think any of us have seen it. Anybody seen it?
Didn't see it, not going to go see it, and this is why Smurfs did a number 3 spot. The Smurfs has always been animated. Always been animated. So when they did these first Smurf movies, you got them running around New York City. They're running into Doogie Howser. If you don't know who Doogie Howser is, that's my man Neil Patrick Harris. And kids went and saw it, but for those Smurf purists, for those old school fans like my sister, she's almost 40, so Smurfs was her thing back in the day. And they should have started out animated, and then if you want to go Smurfs in the real world, then you do that. But they should have started out with an animated, fully animated Smurf movie. So out of all the Smurfs movies that have come out, this was the first one that was fully animated. They should have did this first when they came out with the first one years ago instead of the route that they went. So I believe that movie could have done a whole lot more. And most kids don't know what Smurfs is. These kids in this generation, they only know what they are based on, the movie that came out, 5 or 6 years ago, however long it was ago they did the first Smurfs movie. So, yeah, that's my take on that.
Great point. Man, like you nailed it. I totally agree with everything you said. Steven, what do you think about that? Or is Smurfs something that people today have their finger on the pulse of?
I kind of agree with Malcolm. This is clearly, it's a family film. They're recycling old properties because nostalgia is in. Nostalgia is in. Nostalgia is like, those parents that are saying, "Oh, I remember when I watched Smurfs, Saturday morning or whenever, watch them on Boomerang, all this kind of stuff." Now they have kids watching these same movies. For some people, for some people, they want to take their kids to a movie that they know is safe, that they know they're not going to see anything crazy. There is that market that wants a nice, safe film. The Smurfs, they're reaching to those pockets. They're getting that money. And as you said at the beginning of the segment, we could have anybody can have any sort of opinion about whatever it comes down to. But what it comes down to is what that number that comes after that dollar sign. And if they're still making money, they're still going to keep making the films. So somebody's seeing them. And apparently whoever's seeing them, they see them multiple times. They keep coming back. So
well, I think you nailed it. I think that what you said about parents taking their kids and exposing a new generation must be where the revenue's coming from. Like, oh, I used to love this as a kid. My kid will love it. And then they go check out the movie. So, again, that one's $13,210,449. Coming in at number 2, no surprise to anybody, Beauty and the Beast is still hanging on up there at the top 3 spot. I think it's been 1 or 2 ever since it came out. It raked in $23,652,605. And that's in its number 4 week. So that's unbelievable. I did get a chance to check out Beauty and the Beast, and it was all right. I think my wife liked it, but I was just kind of annoyed by it. Like, I hated the way the Beast looked, and fundamentally the story's pretty messed up. Like, I think when you're watching it in an animated form, you don't realize how crazy it actually is, but when you see it in live action, you're like, what the hell is this? There's no way that this chick has fallen in love with this dude after he kept her father hostage, kept her hostage. It's just like, and I don't know. So anyways, I didn't love it. Everybody else did, and that goes back to what we keep saying. It's just subjective. People view movies differently, and obviously people are loving Beauty and the Beast because they're going back to see it again. Are either of you guys excited about this movie, looking forward to seeing it, indifferent to it? What do you think?
Nope, not going.
I don't care to see it. I'm sure my girlfriend would love to go see it, but
right.
it's okay.
Steven will be Steven's going to see
it. No, I will not. If she wants to go see it, I'll go see it with her. But it's not on my list to go see.
That's
what I'm talking about. If she wants to go, they're going.
Exactly.
Yep. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Coming in at number one with $26 million, 363,488. I'm going to have to reread the Ghost in the Shell number here in a little bit. I think I totally lost it on that one. I'm like $7 and 306 million. Anyways, number one, The Boss Baby, put out by Fox Studios. John Travolta stars as a baby. And if I'm not mistaken, he did that in wait, it's Alec Baldwin. Excuse me.
Alec Baldwin. I was about to say, wait a minute.
Yeah. Reprising his role as a talking baby is what I was thinking, because he was in Look Who's Talking. Different movie, yeah. And I heard it was not bad. I heard it wasn't a bad movie, but I never necessarily heard from anybody that it was a good movie.
Apparently it's good, because this the second week it's been at number one. Am I right?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, that usually means positive word of mouth.
It's another baby movie, and then you got to think about it. Across America right now is the spring break going on, so that helps a lot of movies out. So you got a lot of kids, Boss Baby's out. They're going to see Boss Baby during the weekday. So not necessarily hitting a lot of money for the weekend, but Boss Baby probably made a lot of money during these last 2 weeks with kids being out of school.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Really good point.
Yeah, because I'm looking at some scores right now. Rotten Tomatoes has a 52%. Metacritic has a 50%. So this is a clear example of one of those other times where the kids are out of school right now, so the parents need something for them to do. We're gonna go see them, take them to. They walk into the movie theater. They see a poster with the baby and the animation. Say, all right, we'll go see that. There you go.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That's it.
So that's this week. Again, that one came in 2 weeks in a row at number one. We've got several movies opening up in this coming up week, and we'll just kind of go over 5 of those, give our quick predictions about who we think is going to come out in the top 3. We can do the top 5 if you guys want to go that far with it. But we have Gifted. Chris Evans plays Frank, a man raising his child prodigy niece whose gifts attract the attention of Frank's mother. So this sounds like a psychic kid movie. I haven't heard of it. I haven't seen a trailer, but I'm a fan of Chris Evans. Anybody looking forward to that by the synopsis or the actor or anything?
Sounds like something I'll watch on Netflix when they put it on there.
Yeah,
Same.
Totally agree with you. What about you, Steven?
Definitely. It seems like a good film. Not necessarily one I will go see, but I think it's going to be a great film. I think Netflix will be definitely the move when it comes out.
Yeah, I think it maybe isn't going to be the most theatrical movie, and maybe that's why we're not too stoked on seeing it there out. So next we have France, and that's Frantz, not like the country, but like France, I guess a name. A grieving German woman encounters a mysterious... Oh, no, it's just the German word for France. All right. Amend that. Roll it back. Let's start. So a grieving German woman encounters a mysterious Frenchman who was friends with her fiancé before he was killed in World War I.
I figured it had to do something with the war.
Say what?
I figured it had to do something with the war.
There you go. There you go. Fair enough. What about you?
It'll be a movie.
Yes, it will.
Yeah,
they made
that's
it.
All I can say. They made it.
It sounds like an Oscar contender, but it's way too early in the year for that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something crazy going on behind the scenes, and it's actually going to be the best movie of the year. Who knows? Coming in at number 3, and this is one I'm kind of fascinated with, Anne Hathaway produces and stars in this bizarre sci-fi comedy about an off-the-rails young woman who finds a strained connection between her misadventures and the antics of a creature, a kaiju, wrecking cities in the Far East, and the movie's called Colossal. It premiered at a film festival. I don't remember which one right now, but it premiered at a film festival last year, and people seem to really enjoy it, at least the people that I watch on, like, Collider Nightmares and a couple other places that I get horror podcasts from. But does that sound like something? Are you guys into the kaiju movies? Malcolm, do you like those?
Nah. Not really.
Right?
Not really. The only tall fighting monsters I like are my Transformers and my Power Rangers, but
Thank you.
not the Godzillas and the Megalodons and all that. Speaking of that, they're making a Megalodon movie with Jason Statham. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I heard about that craziness. But yeah, I got to put you on blast, Malcolm. I thought I was going to have to anyways, because Power Rangers is straight up kaiju action. It's like Pacific Rim before Pacific Rim, and Super Sentai is Japanese, so it's a slippery slope. That's all I'm saying.
It is. I'm sliding down.
So yeah, look, I'm excited about it. I do like all those cheesy old Godzilla movies, and I even liked Kong in the last one. But Steven, are you into the kaiju movies, or does this particular one sound cool?
Usually I'm not. I'm usually not. This seems interesting, Anne Hathaway doing her thing, I guess. Somebody will go see it. This one's kind of, like Michael said, I like my big giant monsters being Power Rangers versus Power Rangers or Transformers.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I think there might be a market for it, and they'll go check it out.
Yeah, the fact that she's got a psychic connection to this giant kaiju on the other side of the world is just it's a fascinating premise. It's like the butterfly effect, not the movie, but like when a butterfly flaps its wings on one side of the world, it creates like a typhoon or a hurricane on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Anyways, number two, well, not even number two.
We'll call it Princess Diaries 3, the kaiju effect.
Yeah, there you go. That should be the like after the colon on the title of the movie, Colossus, the kaiju effect. Next movie, Their Finest. In World War II, a dashing director hires Catherine Cole to write propaganda films that need, quote, a woman's touch. This comedy also stars Bill Nighy, Richard E. Grant, and Jack Houston. I really like Gemma Arterton, who's playing the female lead in the movie. I'm not typically into war dramas too much. However, I do think that this one could be interesting because I like propaganda, like the idea of people, like the inner workings, I guess, of propaganda and how that is able to influence people. I just think that that's a weird phenomenon. And then Bill Nighy, Richard E. Grant, and Jack Houston are all three thespian, classically trained actors who have been doing it for a long time. Richard E. Grant was in a movie called With Nail and I, and it's an old British comedy from like the end of the 70s. Highly recommend checking that out. But what do you think about it, Malcolm? Their Finest.
I don't even know who those people are. And I guess they made this movie, and this is Their Finest. Go check it out.
All right. Thanks for that input. What about you, Steven?
Man, I keep bouncing off Malcolm because, it seems like, from what you said, it sounds like a great date movie,
Sure.
If you're into the World War, war movies, sounds like another great war movie drama, especially with that propaganda aspect on it. Nice little spin on it. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to do well. It might get in the award or two, People are going to go
Sure.
see it.
Yeah, the thing that I relate it to is a movie called Thank You for Smoking, where Aaron Eckhart was like a PR person for a tobacco company, and he had to spin it to where, like, cigarettes weren't actually killing people with lung cancer, but it kind of reminds me of that, being that it's a comedy. But I know that some of you guys might have heard of this next movie that's coming out. It's kind of a small independent series that's been going on for a while. This is the 8th entry in it. It is Fate of the Furious. And it looks like Oscar winners Charlize Theron and Helen Mirren are joining the Fast and the Furious franchise. Theron plays the latest villain that threatened the world's most popular crew of car enthusiasts. Malcolm, are you excited about this?
Well, let me get my take on this movie, Jeremy.
Yeah, please.
It seems to be the 8th one in this series of movies that they've done so far. And I love how they've always shown some lovely luxury cars, so it does give a good advertisement for those car brands and those car companies. And, just to see that they're getting some great people like Helen Mirren. I love Helen Mirren. She's a beautiful lady. Charlize Theron, same. I get the same enthusiasm from her. They actually have a former wrestler from the WWE, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
His name is The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Even a great actor named Vin Diesel, who we know from playing Groot in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies over there at Marvel.
He's the one that says, "I am Groot."
Yes.
All right, gotcha.
There are some other amazing people in this movie as well. There's even some musicians that are in this movie. The rapper Ludacris and the singer Tyrese. They've come back. They've been in this installment for a long time as well. And it seems like it's for those people, those mechanics who work very hard each day. I think it's going to be a great movie for them to go check out.
Mm-hmm.
For those people who like fast-paced action and suspense and drama, I really feel like this movie, with this cast and with these people in it, I don't think there's not a possibility that we can see them on the red carpet at the Oscars next season. What do you think, Jeremy?
Yeah, possible. That's very, very possible. I echo a lot of your sentiments, only I don't get near as excited about Helen Mirren as I do Charlize Theron. Probably for other reasons, though. Malcolm, what's your take on this?
I just gave my take.
Oh, that was you, Malcolm? Oh, my goodness, Steven, let's talk about it. Your voice threw me for a minute.
Definitely.
Steven, let's hear what you got to say about it.
Well, man, Malcolm definitely missed that the guy that played the dad from Sky High is in this movie. So, hey,
Oh yeah.
There's
man, how did you do that?
So many people, such a great developing story that's going to be in here. There's going to be cars and then drama and the cars and driving. So much cars, so much driving. What is a person to do with such a film like this?
Yeah, I'm one of those people that I didn't like the first one. I was at that age in my life where I just didn't like the whole little imported, souped-up Acuras and all that stuff. I just thought it was obnoxious. Kind of people have the tips on their cars, and it's just super loud. But so I was kind of anti that movie as a kid. I think I watched the 4th one because I heard it was good, and I watched it, and it was fun, And I think I saw every one since the 4th one. Maybe I didn't see the 6th one. But Furious 7 was pretty good. I got a little emotional at the end over the whole Paul Walker thing. To be fair, the dude died in real life, so that probably added a lot to the dramatic pathos of it, But it's fine. I'm not sold on this series. It seems like a lot of people love it just to love it. I don't know. Like y'all said, though, cars, there's some sweet cars in it, and we'll be driving, and it looks like there's a submarine coming up through the ice in Antarctica where they're all driving cars, and at one point, I think it's Vin Diesel or The Rock, smack a freaking torpedo or some shit, or roll off a torpedo. So it's going to be dumb, fun, one time. It's one of those movies that seeing with a bunch of friends probably won't suck that bad, but that's kind of what I think about it. But as far as what it's going to do at the box office, I think it's going to crush. So I'm just going to give my top 3 from what I'm looking at here. Obviously, things to consider are what came out last week as well as how long they were in. So if you guys listening want to play along, that's the criteria. I am thinking that number 1 is going to be Fate of the Furious, number 2 is going to be Boss Baby, and number 3 is going to be Beauty and the Beast. And I'm realizing now I should have done that backwards to build the anticipation. What do you think? Good guess?
I agree with those
three. With that.
Boss Baby is going to come back again, just as it's done. Beauty and the Beast is still going to stay up there as well. And, of course, Fast 8, everybody's going to go see Fast 8.
Mm-hmm. And these other movies, I just don't know that – I haven't seen a marketing push behind any of them. I don't even know what these movies are,
I know what none of those movies are.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'd heard of Colossal before, but that's it. So, anyways, thank you guys for playing along. And I think actually speaking of box office, we're going to talk a little bit about some predictions for the upcoming Wonder Woman. Here on slashfilm.com, the headline is Wonder Woman box office on track for lowest opening in the DCEU, but don't lose hope. And it looks like what they are anticipating is $83 million opening. Far behind Man of Steel, which was $116, Suicide Squad, which was $133, and Dawn of Justice, which was $166. So what's up with that? Before I even contribute, Steven, what are your thoughts about this?
It's a very early prediction. There are so many factors out that are still kind of missing as far as the projection. They do bring in a very interesting point about this is before there's any sort of like Happy Meal toys, any sort of big push for this movie. Right now, everybody's just kind of seeing this movie as, oh, here's that character that we like from Batman vs. Superman, and she's getting her own movie. So I'm sure, of course, they're expecting that. I believe one thing that I saw interesting was that the fact that the week that it comes out, they're not going to have a major competition. They're not going to have a major competition for Marvel. And who was it? It was somebody else that had a movie coming out a little bit in between that time also. It was Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy comes out a month before, and then Spider-Man Homecoming comes out a month later. So they're saying in that little period of time, one of their contenders is actually going to be, and let me make sure I read this so I don't misquote it.
Is it Captain Underpants?
Yeah, I do remember that. Captain Underpants. And was it also the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, I believe?
Okay.
I think it comes around that same time, which that very interesting point that they bring up. The Pirates of the Caribbean movies has very loyal fans. I haven't seen one since I think the third one. I can't remember what it was called. The one that came out a long time ago. But the franchise still has loyal fans. And the Captain Underpants movie, honestly, I would go see that. I remember seeing I would go see it, but that's the nostalgia kicking in because I remember reading the books as a kid. I read all the books, did all the little things that came with it. Of course, they're going to have the little nods with it. So I do see their argument. I do see where they're coming from. I do understand their concern. However, I think it's still going to do all right. It's going to make its money. It's definitely going to be one of those films where it hits overseas and makes a whole bunch of money. But I do find it interesting that there is some concern about it right now, and we're far off from its actual release. But only time will tell. Of course, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get the Happy Meal toys. We're gonna get all the exclusive toys from the movie in stores, and we're just gonna have to hype up around that. But we will see. We will definitely see. I will say from the family niche market, if they were trying to sell it like that, this is definitely going to be the comic book fan movie. This is going to be the fans of the superhero genre. As far as look at the general public, I'll definitely say they might go see the Pirates of the Caribbean movie first. They'll probably go see this movie. If you're trying to bring the family to a movie, you'll definitely take them to see Captain Underpants. Because it looks funny. It looks like a good movie to me. So we I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a very interesting dynamic, and I think this will also shape the whole DC universe as far as what they want to do, because it's obvious they're forcing this big movie that's coming out soon, and they're just like, here's a bunch of stories. So these people when this movie comes out like 2 or 3 years later. So we'll see what happens with that.
Good point with the merchandise especially. So do you think it's going to hit the 83 over, or do you think it's going to fall short?
I think it'll hit the 83, but I don't see, well, because right now they're projecting it is, I believe it's going to cost 100 to 120 million. I think it'll hit the 83. I'm not going to say it's going to be a huge box office blowout. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little mediocre as far as the numbers pulling.
What do you think about it, Malcolm?
Well, Jeremy, as I make my turkey sandwich for lunch today,
that sounds good.
I think Wonder Woman is going to do well. Now, I've been a big advocate for Wonder Woman based on the trailers that I've seen. I've been a good advocate for Wonder Woman based on, the marketing push that they've been doing. But when this prediction came out and this number came out, this 83 is really driving a lot of people mental when it comes to this prediction.
Sure.
And I think it's going to touch right around this 83. I really do. I didn't look at it like that. I was looking at it from my perspective and from what I thought that they were doing good when it comes to marketing. But when you break it down, and when you look at what the DCEU has given us so far, I truly think that they're going to touch somewhere around that 83. Now, be that as it may, they're going to be out on their own for a little period of time when it comes to what's coming out in the theaters. But for me, I think that 83 is a good mark. And not a good mark as in good for them, but a good mark when we're talking prediction.
Sure.
What's your take on that 83 number, Jerry?
Well, man, I think you bring up a good point as well about DC has burned people in the past. That being said, none of them did real poorly. It's just compared to the amount of money that they spent to go out and do the movies. But I am a huge advocate for Wonder Woman doing good. I really hope it does. So on the con side, we've been burned by Warner Brothers DC in the past. That's going to probably keep some people from going. On the plus side, Wonder Woman is probably the most iconic. No, I mean, there's no probably about it. She's the most iconic female superhero in the world. She was voted by the UN as Woman of the Year. It stirred up a bunch of controversy. They eventually changed it to a real-life person. But even that made headlines, and we all know there's no such thing as bad press. So I think that she's kind of in the social conscious right now. I do think that because of a lot of the kickback that people got about not having enough Gamora and Black Widow toys on the shelves will make them, really push on the merchandising side and really, sell to that demographic that doesn't necessarily buy it. So there's a lot of things to weigh out, and it looks like for everything that there is going against it, there's something going for it. But I just don't know how female-driven these franchises are as far as viewership. Yeah, girls go see them, but typically they go with another guy. They go with a guy and his friends, and maybe all their friends go together, but mostly it's a male audience, So I think 83 million is a little conservative. I would love to see it hit 100 million. I don't think it will. I think it's probably going to hit closer to 90 million on opening weekend, and hopefully it'll do better than that, because I think that studios really pay attention. Obviously, that's what they pay attention to is the money. And if they see, because we know how they perceive things, if they see that one female superhero movie didn't do good, then every other studio is going to pull it off of their development schedule because they get chicken shit, and then we're not going to ever have another movie like that for 10 years. So, I hope it does do good. I would like to see it succeed, but I think that 83 is a little conservative.
And I think that's what hurts the female superhero movies, is because the females aren't going to see it. You don't have – there are a lot of females who are comic book fans, but you don't have a lot of – and those female comic book fans are going to see Wonder Woman. But when we're talking about women as a whole,
right.
They're not jumping at – my sister is not jumping at the seams to go see Wonder Woman. She's jumping for Deadpool 2, and it's not even out yet. Or if it's not even filming. If I ask my sister, what would you rather watch? Would you rather sit at home and watch Deadpool on DVD again, or would you go see Wonder Woman? She's going to sit at home and watch Deadpool again. I mean, that's just point blank. So that's one thing that they're not jumping at the seams to go see Wonder Woman, and that's what's going to hurt it. Like you said, that group of guys and that one girl that hangs with the guys, she's going to go see Wonder Woman. But when it comes to just a regular, everyday demographic of women themselves, they're not going.
Right.
That's a good point. That's a real good point, and I totally agree with you on that. I don't know. I guess we'll have to just see how it plays out, but that's all I've got as far as box office and stuff. It's been fun, guys.
Most definitely. Guys, we do thank you for joining us today. This has been an awesome conversation today, just breaking down a lot of things, especially breaking down situations and stuff when it comes to what's coming out in the movies, what's already out, where we think they're going to play. We do thank you for listening to this latest episode of Fandom Talk. And before we go, we just want to plug a few things. Everybody here has their own thing that they're doing. And if you're watching the Fandoms Anonymous YouTube channel, we've already hit 100 subscribers, but now we're still headed for the push for 10,000 views, and we're almost there. So we're pretty close. I'm not going to reveal our current numbers right now, but we're very, very close. So there's plenty of content for you all to enjoy on the Fandoms Anonymous YouTube channel. For example, we got an interview with my man Stephen McIntyre, even an interview with my man Jeremy. I almost call you Jeremy Johns. With my man Jeremy Branch here on in our one-on-one series where we're talking about with Jeremy. We're talking about content creating, and we're doing cooking one-on-one with Stephen McIntyre. So follow all of our latest segments. We even got another new segment called Fandom Rants, where me and my cousin Daryl, we're ranting about some of the hottest series, some of the things that make us mad the most. So check out our rant on GameStop and check out our rant on the Fast and the Furious series. And we got another one coming up that we're going to do tonight. So you should see that tomorrow on the Fandoms Anonymous YouTube channel. Also, my man Jeremy Branch has Be Terrible Productions. So, Jeremy, let everybody know where we can find Be Terrible Productions.
Check out BeTerrible.com. So you can find me on YouTube at Be Terrible Movies. Check out the Facebook page. It is Be Terrible Productions. And actually head over to the YouTube channel Friday for an interview with Christopher Heskey from Logan. He's actually one of the Reavers. I'm excited to be talking to him despite my little brain moment that I had there. But anyways, yeah, so look forward to checking you guys out next week, same time, same place.
Most definitely. My man Stephen McIntyre, chef extraordinaire. Like I said, check us out in the Cooking 101 segment on the Fandoms Anonymous channel. Stephen, I know you got an Instagram channel going on, man. What's going on over there?
Yes, so my Instagram for the cooking is Genuine Cooking Co. So that's GenuineCookingCo. It's a lot of words, but it means something. Genuine Cooking Co. Basically, that's my cooking channel. That's where I am just going over all aspects of cooking. Right now, we're starting off just with a few pictures, but we have some things coming down the line, some ideas I got coming. I'm not going to tell y'all about yet, but I have some ideas, have some things that we have going on with that. And it's just a general food love blog. Check it out if you love anything about food, and everybody should love food because food is what we need to live. So check it out. We got some great things going on. We got some great pictures going on there. some advice, got some recipes, got a whole lot of things coming down the pipe. Just stick along with it. That's Genuine Cooking CO on Instagram. Check us out.
Most definitely, guys. If you don't know who we are Fandoms Anonymous. That's FANDOMS We're all over everywhere. We're on YouTube, of course, where you're watching this video at Fandoms Anonymous YouTube channel. We're on Facebook. Come join the group and join the discussion. Also, follow us on Facebook. Come like the page and check our daily updates. Head over to Instagram at Fandoms_Anonymous17 and head over to Twitter at Anonymous_Fan17. So, guys, we thank you for joining us today. And if there isn't anything else, have a good one.